Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dork Entertainment. We've got a very special video here today. We're going to be discussing Star Wars Rise of Skywalker.
What the hell?
Spoiler discussion.
Hell yeah.
So a couple of videos ago, or maybe the last video, we did the Star Wars review with non-spoilers. So this one is going to be our review / discussion with spoilers. So just a warning here before we start, there are spoilers. So here's a spoiler warning.
Final warning.
Definitely spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled, please watch the movie, then come back to this video for the discussion.
Or click on another video.
No,
preferably
preferably
a Dork Entertainment video.
Do not click on another video. Not allowed. Stay on this video.
Yeah, just stay on this video, please.
So I've got here Daniel Dog. He's here with us. Chief Dork is here. I've got Samit here. Got, who am I on this side? David. And I've got Johnny from Retro Junie here.
Shout out Retro Junie. What's up, Retro Junie? Subscribe, like, all that shit.
Oh wait, David's our paleontologist. That's
David,
right.
Resident paleontologist.
Resident paleontologist, David.
Paleontologist.
So before we go ahead, also just remember to like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, share the video if you can, show some love, and comment below as well because we want to hear all of your thoughts. So we're just gonna, rehash. Me and Smith did a review the other day, and we'll just tell you our scores. So I gave this a 8 out of 10.
I gave this an 8.5 out of 10.
So we're just going to go around the room, just let's check the scores here. So Daniel Dog, what did you give Star Wars Rise of Skywalker?
I give Rise of Skywalker maybe 7.5. 7.5. Yeah.
Okay. You're down to the Retro Genie? What did you give?
I would give it a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Okay. And we've got the paleontologist David here.
Definitely 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. So that looks like roughly around the average score mark here. So 7.5. We're just gonna. I guess we'll start with the story.
Yeah.
Okay. So I thought it was a good story. I thought. It was really all about Rey and Kylo Ren or Ben.
Yeah, it's a back and forth between them in terms of like the connection they have, right, guys? The sort
What was the Force diet?
the force.
Their Force diet.
Diet or Dryad, I think it's something like that.
But
I heard Diet.
Diet.
Yeah,
Diet.
Diet.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So
Diet.
they like connected in like some sort of way. But that was an interesting sort of take on the story. It sort of expanded on the Last Jedi's that connection that they had. It just went a bit further than that when they you can sort of physically affect someone on that connection as well. So that's interesting.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And I mean, the whole trilogy it's been about them too. Really.
Yeah,
It's always it's more about the new characters. Yeah, it's mainly they're the main focus in this new trilogy.
Yeah, which is what they wanted to do from the beginning because they wanted this trilogy to focus on new characters. They brought back the older actors, the older characters for the nostalgia feels.
Yeah.
And a lot of people wanted to see the older characters back again.
Yeah.
But they've always had from the beginning, like they are going to kill off these characters, the older characters, in this trilogy. And we saw, we saw Han Solo go, we saw Luke Skywalker go.
And now we've seen
Princess Leia.
Yeah, I thought that, I'll just briefly touch on the way that she went. I thought it was a really great sequence. How it was filmed and everything, and then sort of seeing Chewie at the end, where he's just crying out because everyone he's known since the original trilogy is dead.
gone. Yeah.
That was like really the heartbreaking cry. I thought it was really.
Except for Lando, he's the only one that's still there. But obviously, like we're talking about the main three.
The main three, yeah.
Yeah, obviously,
Like all his best friends.
Yeah.
Oh man, they've all gone.
They're all gone, and he's the only one left. And
I thought like even the scene, like obviously where Leia talks to Kylo. She uses all of her last strength. And
she's like Ben.
she's the one who basically turns him,
Back,
when he realizes that she basically killed herself trying to communicate with him.
Yeah.
I think that's what was the driving
that
point.
was
So bringing Ben back from Kylo, that's what she
she
sacrificed her life pretty much in the storyline. I thought it was a good summary, I guess a good roundup ending of Kylo Ren and Rey's story.
Yeah.
Now I just want to ask a couple of people in the back there.
The paleontologist and retro.
and the Retro Journey streaming channel.
Yeah. So what did you guys think of the story as a whole?
I think with the story, it's a bit hard to sort of look at it without context, given where it is in the trilogy and where it is in the saga. I think it's credit to the writing of the story. What they were able to pull from the last movie and the movie before into this movie, I think was done very well.
Yep.
Yes.
So there was a lot. He wasn't given much to work with.
Yeah. So JJ Abrams, I got to say, with what he had, he did pretty well
So I think
in those
credit
circumstances.
has to be given there because
It's a tough.
it's not just
tough
that it's a cohesive story that works as a film, but given what happened in the previous film, like it's done very well. So that's my opinion.
Yeah. What did you reckon, David?
I think the first 2 hours of the movie, or the first hour of the movie, was damage control. You could see that. Like, really nice
major
call.
damage control.
Was
Kind of, it had to be done.
it
had
had
to be done.
But there was like the whole movie was kind of just like a big finger to Ryan.
Big middle finger.
That's basically what it was.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you jump straight into it. There's Palpatine, and he's like, oh, you know, race parents aren't anybody, and it's like, oh, okay, wait, so it's actually true, and then
You can sort of feel the conflicting visions.
This is the whole thing that, you know, because the rumors are that they never actually had a plan when they bought Lucasfilm and they go, yeah, we're gonna make 3 more Star Wars movies.
I
They
think
never actually.
the idea of that was because the original trilogy wasn't a plan either. It wasn't.
Yeah, like George.
They didn't.
Lucas-
He didn't make like the first Star Wars with the hope of a
Yeah,
sequel.
but
Yeah,
then,
that's
so
true.
what I've heard from a documentary is that Lucas made the trilogy to start off with, but he only gave the first act to 20th Century Fox
Yeah.
to make as the first film. He knew what the other ones were going to be. So if you actually watch them, the original trilogy, they work as 3 acts even. Like they actually work as a 3 act
it's
structure.
stereotypical.
Yeah, and so
hero's journey.
yeah, but like he didn't sell them on the other 2 because he's business, good businessman.
Yeah, obviously.
And like he said, if this does well, then you pay me double for the rest, and that's what he did. That was very smart. But yeah, you can tell this trilogy it wasn't thought out, and
No, this really
Put
no.
on my like glasses.
But
Oh,
I
wait.
think they were
He's
trying
going. He's going thug life on us.
Oh wait, is there any more Thug Life glasses? I need to go with Thug Life as well.
I think they were trying to capture the essence of bringing in new directors for each film.
Yeah, like the original
Like the-
trilogy.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think
All
that's-
right, let me just go on a rant here. Kathleen Kennedy, you are the worst executive in the history of executives. You have no vision. You don't know how to produce any movies. You're not a Kevin Feige. You are shit. Do not ever produce anything again, and please leave Star Wars. We need Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau to lead it. You're the worst leader I've ever seen in the history of Hollywood. All right, I'm done.
Oh, can I have the? I need the.
Oh,
rank
you-
glasses.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I need to have the rank
Well, I'm
glasses.
sure it's not going to make much of a difference. But go
You never
ahead.
know.
You never know.
All right. So Daniel Dog's going thug life on us.
Here's my rant. Why didn't they just bring back? I think the biggest middle finger to Ryan Johnson would have been to completely be like, oh no, it turns out Luke is alive. Like, I think, but like I said, this movie, one of the things I felt really wrong about this movie was the pacing. I felt like there was just too many, like jumps to like this place, this place, and
But that's Star Wars. That's what it
but
does.
I mean, this is the thing. If you're ending you're not ending just 3 movies. You're ending the whole thing, starting from
but
1 to 9.
if you look at it as a Star Wars film, Star Wars, something happens, and then there's like a slide screen to the next scene where it's somewhere else, and then something happens, and the
No,
screen fades and it goes to somewhere else.
The
That's
pacing,
Star Wars.
the pacing, I can sort of react to that. Is that the pacing more has to do with the fact that it feels like 2 films in one.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Where they're trying to tell a story that should have been told in 8, but wasn't, and then continuing on that. The Sith Wayfinder thing that should have been told in 8. To be honest, originally they should have been introduced in 8.
Wayfinder.
Yeah, it was a.
Yeah, it's a Sith holocron. That's it's not a fucking.
No, EU's not cancelled. No, we can't.
It's not
Oh,
a
yeah, he used-
Wayfinder. It's a
There's no
fucking
EU.
holocron. Okay, no.
EU's cancelled. Sorry.
I'm sorry. It's not.
Hold on, David, hold on.
It's not.
Oh my God, everyone's going.
It's a Sith holocron. That's what it's called.
Everyone's
That's what it's
going-
supposed to be, not a Wayfinder. What is that?
It's not a freaking Wayfinder. Read any freaking book. Watch any play any games. It's a holocron.
Everyone-
End of it. That's
Everyone
it. End
refers
of
to them
rank.
as
End
Sith
of rank.
holocrons, and there's no two.
Well,
There's
you can
thousands.
also say the actual Sith homeworld was Korriban.
Yeah, Korriban, not whatever that was.
Why? Okay, wait. So
Why did they change
all the
that?
games, all the games, the Sith homeworld has been.
I'll tell you this
Always
now.
been that.
I'll tell everyone this now. EU is not allowed.
Not allowed.
It's not allowed.
Not allowed.
It's finished. You have to come up with new ideas.
Yeah,
So anyway, coming back to the story, which is what we're talking about.
Also, another thing I didn't like, I felt like the Rey, like the whole thing about Rey, who she is, I felt like that was too predictable.
Really?
Really? I did not predict
No,
Palpatine.
I felt like it was too predictable. I think but see, the thing is, it could have gone both ways. If it went to like, oh, she's no one, then fans would have been like, oh, what the hell, and why is she so OP?
So what did you want her to be, the love child of Luke and Leia?
No, I wanted her to be like someone else. I don't know. I felt like it was just too like, oh, that's a bit obvious.
No, but so you support Ryan Johnson. You support that anyone can be a
support
Jedi.
Ryan Johnson. Well, anyone can.
No, but I like the fact that she was Palpatine's daughter. Because it explained the whole reason why she's so OP. Because she's one of the granddaughters to one of the most powerful Sith in the.
Yeah, I thought that was
I like the foreshadowing with the lightning.
With the lightning, that was good. When she nearly killed Chewie.
Yeah, I was like, that's surprising.
Yeah, by the way, when she killed Chewie.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. We were pretty much ready to look at it. So.
Yeah, I was ready to be like, nah, this is not.
It was quite upsetting. I think if that's the way Chewie's gonna go.
That's pretty upsetting.
That's it. Like that's how you're gonna kill a man. No.
Yeah, like the whole movie was fan service, but like at that point I was like,
Nah.
dude, these people are not doing that right if they think that's fan service. But he didn't die.
So I like the way how it ended in terms of it was very similar to this whole trilogy was very similar to the original trilogy, right? Force Awakens very similar to A New Hope, and this film I felt it had the same story arc where there was an overarching villain. There was one of the bad guys who was conflicted, who eventually turns good guy and kills the bad guy, and then there was the up and coming young Jedi trying to find its way. Now that same story played out in this way. I thought it was good. It was a good ending with Kylo coming back as Ben.
Yeah, I like that. I like the redemption. So I like what they did with Kylo in that, like they made him a badass again with the mask and everything and all his actions.
I love that first scene where he's just killing.
He's just killing villagers.
That was awesome.
Like that scene
brutal.
was like
and they made him a badass. They made him a badass again, and then they gave him some nuance with his mum dying and everything. And that bringing him back to the light.
Yeah, bringing the Redeemer.
Yeah, and that was really good. Like he came back and he so Rey pretty much dies at the end. Rey is dead at the end.
Spoilers.
Yeah, that's right.
This whole thing is a spoiler, Daniel.
Yeah.
You don't have to say spoiler.
But I feel like
I know you got your thug glasses on. But.
Spoiler.
So Rey is dead, right? And Ben, that scene, a few people laughed in the cinema.
Yeah, it didn't have the right effect.
That scene should have been like, oh no, she's dead. Like, what happens next? But even when we went to watch it, there were a couple of laughters here.
So
and
when
there.
Ben kissed,
we were just
the laughter came and the kiss.
Yeah, and the kiss as well. That was.
She was dead. That wasn't funny, Daniel.
No one laughed then. I'm talking about the kiss.
No, I meant the kiss. The kissing.
So Ben kisses Rey.
An awkward kiss in the trilogy.
Ben kisses Rey, and everyone was like a bit confused. They're like, "What? No!" And then they were like laughing. But I think you got to look at it in the context because he is sort of transferring the
his
force,
essence.
into her.
Yeah.
So he's trying to save her by healing her, by giving himself up. Right, then he disappears. So I didn't really find that funny. I thought it was a good scene. I wasn't.
But for the general audiences, I think it wouldn't make sense.
So here's something. So because Ben technically transferred his life essence to Rey, does that make her part Skywalker?
Well, yeah, that's what she's inferring at the end, where she's like, Skywalker.
But I think that's more symbolic.
Symbolic,
I don't think that.
Yeah, I don't think that's
literally.
I actually think that they are one. I think Ben is in not figuratively speaking, but inside her. They are together. Like, you know, that's why you don't see. That's why you don't see
Forced
like.
pregnancy, let's do this.
Well, you don't.
I mean,
see,
it happened in the. It happened.
Did
It comes full
with
circle. She's
Shmi.
the new Shmi.
Yeah,
the new
that's what I
show.
would like.
Well, I mean, you would have. We always see a Force ghost of whoever dies, but we don't see a Force ghost of Ben.
No,
But,
yeah.
hold on, one more thing. Did Ben do that as a Jedi, or did he do that as a Sith?
No, so it was actually as I think that the power.
He
is
did it
Sith
as a
power.
Jedi.
No, the power of that transference is a Sith power, but he died as a Jedi. So that when the clothes go away and everything,
That's a Jedi
That's
thing.
a Jedi. That's
Yeah.
You die as a Jedi.
But he was,
Like that.
yeah.
But
Because-
the whole like thing where he's transferring the power, that's like the same thing where Palpatine's sucking the power out of Rey and Ben. I think it's the same sort of thing. Another thing I guys wanted to ask was, what do you guys think of the whole healing thing in this? Healing aspect.
Well, I mean, it makes sense, especially if you play any of the games.
Yeah.
Force healing is an ability.
An
Yeah,
ability.
force healing is an ability.
In any of the films.
That's why I found confusing when people were like, "Oh, they're releasing all these new like force
It's not
force
really
healings."
that new, yeah.
I'm pretty sure, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but in number one, between the fight between Qui-Gon and Maul, where you know the shields come up and Qui-Gon is meditating. From what I heard, people were saying that he was also healing.
There's
as
also
well.
healing probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Could be.
Okay. Look, we're just going to go around the room. I just wanted to know what your favorite, if you had to pick one scene, what was your favorite scene? Like, just pick one scene, the first one that comes to your mind that you thought was the best scene.
For me, it was the Bobby Freak scene. Dude, that
New character.
New character.
is the
It's
best
so
new
funny.
character,
Yeah.
I think, in this whole trilogy. Bubble Freak needs his own TV show or Disney Plus thing or
Disney, get
him
onto
and
it.
Baby. Imagine a movie with him and Baby Yoda. That would be gold. Print money for you, Disney. Kathleen, you listening to this or what?
She's probably not going to.
Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige.
Feige,
Feige's
yes.
our man. Favreau's our man. He's gonna listen to it. But no, yeah, definitely Bubble Freak. I like the whole scene. I think felt very Star Warsy.
So where they're trying to reboot C-3PO.
Yes, but also the thought the lightsaber battles are really good. The one-
Really?
Yeah, I thought they were actually. They were actually better than the other ones in the other two films.
Oh,
You got to pick one. You got to pick one. You got to pick one.
Yeah, in this trilogy, I'm saying. Yeah.
You got to pick one scene.
Wait. The lightsaber battles. Do you mean like through all of Star Wars, or
No,
just
no,
the,
just
like?
for this trilogy.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it was because they don't really battle that much. If you notice in this trilogy, it wasn't really.
Yeah, like I remember watching the Throne Room one, and
Yeah, that-
you see, it's still funny to this day seeing Rey supposed to duck, but he misses her cue, so the
Yeah.
stormtrooper has to do this, like hit above her head, and then she has to duck. I still find that funny, but yeah. Anyway,
So which one is your favorite? You have to pick one.
I would be the Bubble Freak. I just think
Bubble
the
Freak
introduction of that character felt very Star Warsy to me.
Daniel Dog, what's your favorite scene?
Okay,
thank you very much.
no, I think for me, my favorite scene was seeing Luke and Leia like actually training with the lightsaber. It's like, okay, so
That's a very small scene, but yeah.
I know it's
very-
a small scene, but to me that felt like, okay, so that means it's basically they're saying that so she had some training
Yeah.
in the with lightsabers.
That was
again.
cool, I
So
like
that
that
was
scene.
really cool.
Yeah.
And then
So
also
it's a flashback basically. They
Yeah.
show
Luke
a
and Leia.
flashback of Luke and Leia training.
I thought
like the younger version.
yeah, which by the way, I thought the CGI was. I thought that was good.
Yeah, it looked pretty good.
It looked really good.
De-aging.
Yeah, the de-aging. That
De-aging
and
or deep fake?
It probably was a mixture of both.
mixture.
probably
Retro
mixture.
Jenny, what was your favorite
I'll pass
scene?
it to David.
Yeah.
David?
My favorite scene was
Everything.
where Kylo Ren lands and he's talking to Palpatine, and Palpatine changes his voice to Snoke and then Darth Vader. So I was like,
Yeah,
oh, I mean,
that's
this kid's been
cool.
manipulated.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
no,
cool.
Palpatine was behind this whole shit. So that was my favorite scene.
Retro Jenny?
shit.
No. Leave the room.
Do you need?
Oh, he's got it.
Quite simply, my favourite scene in the movie. Yen credits.
Oh, damn, that's brutal. That's brutal.
Damn.
It was
Brutal.
Pretty nice looking in credits, I must say.
Yeah, the credits were really.
The font
that was
and
probably the best thing actually.
She didn't like any scene.
It isn't because I needed to pee, but probably my favourite scene probably would have been the struggle of Rey and Kylo when they're trying to force pull that ship.
That's sick.
That as a spectacle was quite
Oh,
unique.
yes, yeah.
And very unique. Never seen something like that in Star Wars. I thought it was quite,
That was cool.
So
quite interesting.
I'll double Johnny there. That was my favorite scene too. I was just waiting for.
Oh, here we go.
So, but all the way from the beginning of that scene, so to when they were being chased, that whole chase sequence was awesome. Because the stormtroopers are flinging everywhere and then they're exploding in the canyon.
And the maneuver that Rey does with the lightsaber, that was pretty cool. And then both of them with the.
And then she does that flip.
Yeah, that's in the flip with the lightsaber and she
Slices the wing.
Slices the wing.
Yeah.
And then there's that whole they're using the force, and then all of a sudden electric bolt out of her hand.
Yeah, that
And
was
you think that she's killed Chewie.
By the way, am I the only one here that was really underwhelmed by the Knights of Ren?
Yeah,
They were really-
Visually,
Visually, they were
they look
cool.
amazing.
Yeah, they
Like,
look amazing, but
I love seeing them on screen.
Was
See,
it?
that's another problem with. They should have also been throughout
8.
The Last Jedi. Like they should have been a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
So it builds up that whole, how badass they actually are.
yeah, we
So then
were.
when he finally beats them, there's like
Because we
conclusion.
were meant to believe that the Knights of Ren was so badass, but it just looked like they were just
But I thought,
stormtroopers in different
I
outfits.
thought, I
That's
thought when
what
they
it felt
beheaded
like.
that alien that ratted on them, that was pretty good. That was insane. When
Yeah,
the
they just-
beheaded thing they put on the table.
Yeah.
That was nuts.
And
man.
I love how in this movie so Rey and Ben, or Rey and Kylo, they're transferring things when they see each other,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
physical
that was-
items, like the necklace, and then at the end with the lightsaber, that was pretty cool when he's
Yeah.
fighting.
Yeah.
And Luke knew that. Luke knew that, by the way. Force Ghost Luke comes to see Rey, and he tells her, "You're gonna need 2 lightsabers."
Yeah.
So he knew, right? There's a bit of a laughter snigger at the back.
It's just one of the biggest fuck yous Ryan Johnson was when he catches a lightsaber and says this needs to be treated with respect. That's one of the most overt
Yeah.
Get cut, Ryan
There
Johnson.
was so many epics of Ryan Johnson.
Yeah.
Just
that one stood out.
How they
I'll
how they pretty much just sideline Rose.
when she wanted to come along, and then they're like,
nah, it's all good. We need you here.
We need you.
So in terms of let's look at the technical aspects of this movie. Now CGI I thought was freaking awesome. Some of the scenes, the scenes were epic, right? They had really good puppetry in this as well. The puppetry work was, J.J. Abrams.
Actually, one more thing I want to say that I really loved was the whole Sith ritual scene. That was insane. Where like Palpatine's going, "You will strike me down," and then like all the whole crowd's
cool.
there, like saying,
Yeah.
I wonder who they are.
Oh, yeah.
wonder who they are.
Who they are?
No.
I think they're just Siths maybe, or
Clones could be clones.
could be clones, but yeah,
We did see Snoke.
I loved the whole ritual of the Sith. That was so interesting to me. Like the whole adds to the Sith law. Like, this is the ritual. You'll strike me down. You'll become the Empress and all that. So I was like, that was cool. I thought that was really well done.
I feel like sorry.
I was just gonna say and then when that happens, his consciousness transfers to Rey.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. Also, like in that scene, you're talking about the CGI. I just thought the shot when he's the lightning hitting all the ships at the top. That was
good.
Nuts,
Yeah.
man.
And there's an Avengers Endgame moment there as well in this movie. Where,
when the ships all come, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
right,
like Avengers Assemble. Where it's like Star Wars ships assemble, and then all the
Basically,
every single ship.
Once you get the 4K Blu-ray, you probably can pause it and see
Yes.
all the Easter eggs and probably like all ships that's been throughout
Oh, yeah.
any type of Star Wars property.
The question is where were these people in?
Yeah, where were these people in number 8?
Number 8.
Yeah, they send out a signal, no one called.
No one came.
They send out a signal now, everyone comes.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't like Princess Leia because Leia's gone and then they all come.
Oh, maybe Lando, man. That's his
Lando.
homies, man.
I
That's
mean,
his
Lando,
homies.
Yeah, probably.
That is his homies.
One question though. One question.
Yeah.
In the Force Awakens,
Yeah.
when Rey goes into the what is it, the bar,
Yeah.
right? And she grabs Luke's lightsaber, and she has that whole Force
Vision, yeah.
Force vision.
And then when she's battling Kylo,
These are your
and Kylo's
first
pulling the lightsaber up, but it goes to her, right?
Yeah.
That was heavily implied that Rey was a Skywalker, yeah?
Yeah.
Because
No,
like,
I thought
Luke's
I thought
lightsaber goes to
I
her.
thought it was heavily implied that the Force is just awakening. Literally, the Force, that's the title. The Force
The
is
Force
like sort of
awakening.
awakening again after it's been dormant for so long. That's what I got.
Because I don't
It's
know that.
also the symbolism of the feminism of powering them.
Oh,
Yes, that too,
we're going
It's
there.
the Kathleen thing.
Kathleen.
She doesn't made it a
Hey,
secret.
Force is female.
She hasn't
Force
made
is
it a
for
secret
females.
for those political views, but
So we
We're
should
gonna get
have,
striked.
epic scenes as well.
Let's go.
There's a couple of really epic battles. So the big battle between Rey and Kylo on the Death Star,
The ruins of the
Yeah.
where,
Yes,
where
yes.
there's the water and everything.
Yeah,
That
was
was pretty
cool. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, what was that planet?
So
That was Endor.
Was that
I'm
Endor?
not sure if it was Endor, but they were saying something else like
I thought it was the forest
one of the one of another moon of Endor.
Because from what I heard, Endor.
Endor is a desert planet.
But no,
something.
Endor's
Yeah.
a forest planet.
No, that's Endor's.
Oh, Endor.
planet.
Oh, sorry, the
No,
moon.
the moon of Endor. Because
Moon.
I thought,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, because that's what I thought. Like because
Yeah,
the Death
okay.
Star exploded, right? I figured it would.
Gone on
Forest.
Endor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would've gone on
moon.
Endor,
Not
yeah.
on moon, but it would have gone to Endor. Yeah.
One thing
There
I
was
was
a mention of the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
one thing I was a little bit disappointed in was, throughout the movie, there's a build up of Boyega's character. And in this movie as well, they showed he had a connection with the Force as well. There were times where he could, you know what I mean? He could feel where Rey is.
He's like,
That was
Ray's in
implied from
trouble.
The Force
Yeah,
Awakens.
that was
Yeah.
implied.
But it wasn't really like they didn't really come to a resolution in this like story of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In this movie, that's still a question mark.
It's like, is he force sensitive? Is he not? Like,
Yeah, like it
Well,
wasn't really
I
answered.
thought they sort of hinted at things like where he's sort of saying, "I've got a feeling that it's in that ship." Where
Yeah,
Yeah.
stuff like that, little things where he'd sort of feel the Force.
yeah.
But yeah, they didn't really capitalize on anything. beyond
And
that.
what did he want to say to Ray? I want to know. Just
Yeah,
like
what-
I want to know. I want to
what
know.
do
too.
you, what do you
he
want to say?
Well, maybe
I love you?
Well, no, I think it's
I want
something
you?
else. I think,
I was Force sensitive.
or that like I think I know that you're the daughter of Palpatine. Or I've seen your vision. I've seen the vision of your future. Maybe that's what he saw and he was trying to tell her. But
No, but they were about to die. Remember? And he was
yeah,
like, I got
I
something to
was saying
say.
yeah about your future of who you are.
I reckon he had the hearts for her. He-
Yeah.
Maybe.
It was a bit set up in The Force Awakens, but like,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
we know, we basically missing a movie in the trilogy.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you can
obviously.
honestly watch The Force Awakens and you can watch
Straight away, yeah.
the Rise of Skywalker and you wouldn't actually have a
We
problem.
wouldn't have missed a thing, to be
Yeah,
honest.
it's like perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Well, some just say like, why did they feel the need to stick to a trilogy? Why couldn't they make episode 10? But
Yeah,
I
true.
guess,
The only thing
didn't
you'd
work
miss
out.
I
is
guess the only thing that there's no for seeing what would have happened with the Last Jedi. What would have? Oh, I don't know. Maybe it was too late to do anything about episode 8, or I don't know who sort of agreed with Ryan. Obviously, there's a team making these
Well,
movies.
yeah, there is a story team, but it just didn't
It
seem
didn't-
like there was
didn't-
any cohesiveness with it.
Yeah. Just,
But like
but
there
it's
was
not even
obviously-
it's not even just the cohesiveness. It's so antithetical to the previous movie.
Yeah, that's the
It's
problem.
not. It's not that it's not cohesive. It's that it acts against like the Force Awakens.
The thing is, we've seen time and time again that if the director doesn't agree with Kathleen Kennedy's vision, then they
The
can, like
problems.
Colin Trevor. We got Colin Trevor. and-
Phil Lord, Chris Miller.
So you
Yeah.
bring up John Boyega's character, and I felt like from just the Force Awakens, I thought he was going to be a main character.
Yeah, I thought he would have been a
Yeah.
Jedi even.
He got the biggest
exactly.
disservice in Episode 8. There's a lot of things wrong with Episode 8, but I think he had the
Yeah.
biggest disservice. He was made into a joke side character.
character.
because his build up started in Force Awakens,
Yeah.
but then it
Yeah.
just went downhill in
It's like we never heard in the entire Star Wars movies that a stormtrooper just being like,
He had
nah.
a very he-
Like that's
Yeah, like, we've
that
never
is a
seen
strong
that in Star
opening.
And
Yeah.
I could see in Rise of Skywalker, I could see that J.J. Abrams was trying to
Fix that.
Fix it, yeah.
by introducing him to other people who have rebelled. You know,
Yeah.
that
In the
have
same
gone
sense.
against
And
gone
he's
against the
the
first
leader
one.
of-
Because
the-
really, you
yeah.
look at his character alone in the Last Jedi. Like, where does it go?
Yeah.
It's just it doesn't go anywhere.
What does he do actually in Last
Canto
Jedi?
Bite.
Doesn't he just go to the
He
bar?
doesn't
and-
Yeah, the
experience
Canto Bite, the
any-
casino planet.
That's it. Yeah.
That's it.
Doesn't experience
Saves the
any-
horses.
Oh, yeah, Phasma, the biggest wasted freaking character.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Man, you
that
were talking
was-
good design and wasted character. It's Captain Phasma. Looks sick, but what the hell?
We all remember episode 7 how epic that character was.
Yeah.
And just how
Wasted.
Yeah.
So coming back to Rise of Skywalker, which is what we're here predominantly
Sorry.
for.
That's
No, don't say sorry. It's good discussion.
Sound like you said Rose of
No, no, but like it's,
Rise.
but it's also the end of the
Rise.
trilogy.
Skywalker.
Yeah, so I thought Baby Yoda. I really would love to see a cameo about Baby Yoda. Oh, what-
But again, this is we're asking for some planning for the future of Star
Yeah.
Wars.
Please.
Not getting any
Give us
from
some planning,
Kathleen.
man. Come on.
Kevin Feige.
A
man.
vision of where you want
Kevin
to go.
Feige, please.
like a vision of,
us.
of
John
where
Favreau,
you want the franchise to go. Like it just doesn't seem like there is any vision.
Yeah.
When something is handed to them on a plate, like Baby Yoda, are they just going to look at it and just ignore
Toss
it, or are
it,
they
yeah.
going to try and build around it, which they should? But yeah, it's up to them, man. I'm hoping for a change in leadership. Is what I'm hoping for.
Well, the next Star Wars movie, I don't know if they've scheduled a date
There
yet.
is there's
or-
a date,
Yeah, there's a date
In
scheduled.
20,
22 or 23.
Yeah, so, well,
22.
there's 3 dates: 22, 24, and 26.
Oh wow, so it's
Well,
not
there you
far
go.
away.
It's
Yeah.
not, yeah.
I thought they would have taken a break after this series, like 5-6 years, and then
They
come
should
back.
they should take a break, but
Early rumors are
Let's see
saying
what-
it's
let's
a
see what
brand
we
new
can do.
trilogy,
Yeah.
but now that the Skywalker saga is finished, I don't know if it's going to be.
And so Feige is attached to the 2022.
Yeah.
thank
I
God.
guess another question. Sorry, it just came popped in my head. Are you satisfied with this ending of the 9 movie arc for the
No.
whole 9 movie Skywalker saga? Are
No.
you satisfied with this ending?
No.
Like, give me a percentage of how satisfied you are with this. I would say I am about 75%
Oh, that's
satisfied.
60% satisfied. But at the end of the day, like I understand it's. I don't think you could have done anything else more with it, man. Like I think it was kind of unnecessary when you think of the whole plot with Palpatine and what happened. It kind of feels like an epilogue. It doesn't feel like an end.
I think it's mismanagement by Kathleen.
Yeah.
I think that
That's why. That's like.
she
there's-
was the one that was in charge of the 3 movies.
And so it didn't really feel like a great ending. But yeah, 60, 65, like until, for an ending. That,
Of the whole 9 movie
the whole
arc.
9 movies, yeah, 65%. Yeah.
He's got, oh my god, here we go.
Oh shit. It's
I'm not satisfied. I was hoping for another ending.
So
The
he's
ending
gonna-
that we got was
You don't have another ending, it's done.
yeah, but I felt like there could have been more.
I think
like,
so
more
what-
could have been
So
done.
what did you
with the
want? What did you
ending.
want from the ending?
I think what would have been really good is I think you were saying that because there were multiple endings, right?
Yeah.
I think
Multiple
one of the
cutscenes.
endings I would have wanted is for Anakin to like
Yeah.
physically appear and take down the Emperor. I think that's what I would have
So
liked.
you
to
wanted
see.
Hayden Christensen back into Star Wars?
Yeah. Yes, I would have.
That's why he's got the glasses on.
He acted alright in Revenge of the Sith. I heard he's
Alright, everyone's got the right to their own opinion.
He doesn't like sand, by the way.
Retro Genie?
Alright.
David?
Oh, David. Yeah.
Are you satisfied, David, with the whole 9 movie arc ending?
There's Star Wars and there's Disney Star Wars, and that's my answer. Okay, so
So you don't consider this trilogy part of that then?
the sequel trilogy ruined the 6 movies. Anakin was the chosen one, and he's supposed to take down the Sith. Alright. Anakin was the chosen one. He's supposed to take down the Sith. He did.
That was the
but
prophecy.
then Palpatine just comes back. Okay, so we're gonna
Forget
cut
about that. Yeah.
And then so the Republic is back after Episode 6, right? But for whatever reason, it's called the Resistance. So, well, what is there a Republic, or is it
I think
what is it?
So your issue is that they kind of ignored the world building
Yeah.
law
Yeah.
that was established.
There was 6 movies
In the franchise.
Yeah, exactly. And then they just were like,
Took their-
I can answer that. So that is them not wanting to pay Lucas any more royalties.
Yeah.
Anytime they sort of mention anything that's sort of close to any of the stuff that Lucas created, they want to create new things. That's a Disney decision. Probably wasn't the right thing. They should have really respected the lore of Star Wars.
I think that's why
Yeah.
I think the scene in number 7 when she's like, when Rey's like, what is that lightsaber, and Maz, that's her name, right?
Yeah, man.
She's like, oh, that lightsaber belongs to Luke and his father. It's like, why couldn't they just say Anakin?
Anakin, yeah.
That's what I found. But then
Nah, it's just that they wanted to create new lore,
Yeah.
Disney. So.
But that's fine if they want to create new lore, because with Rogue One they made new characters or so, and that was, in my opinion, I like that movie. That was a good Star Wars movie. Yeah.
I do echo your sentiment. I do believe that for me, I'm actually dissatisfied with Return of the Jedi as the ending. As the ending to this Skywalker.
yeah, no, that was.
I can go into. I understand your point's valid. For me personally, I think the most magical moment in Star Wars is watching that scene where Vader looks between the Emperor and he looks at Luke, and he decides to do. I think that is that captures
That captures
is
the
one
true
of the most
essence,
Perfect scene.
yeah.
That's the best scene for me in the entire across all 9 movies.
Exactly.
That satisfies me enough as
Yeah.
as someone that likes Star Wars.
Yeah.
Alright, so opinions are divided. Some people don't consider this latest trilogy to be part of the whole 9-movie arc. They consider it a 6-movie arc and a 3-movie arc.
Not to say it's not enjoyable. It is.
It was still enjoyable.
It's enjoyable. This is an enjoyable movie.
But it could have been better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a sort of.
It was enjoyable. I'm not sure if it was needed, to be honest.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing.
One of the things I did like was Empress Palpatine.
Yeah, the whole idea.
I'd actually like that.
Yeah, the whole
Yeah,
idea.
that would have been pretty
So,
cool. But
any closing comments? Do you guys want to make a closing comment before we finish this video?
Like, to me, I just want Star Wars to have a vision again. I just want them to just sit down and just figure out what they're doing with it. The same way, you shouldn't compare it to Marvel, but Marvel has a vision of where they wanted to go in their 10 years. I'd like Star Wars to have something like that. Like, where do they want to go? What are they doing with the franchise? Just seems like Kathleen has no idea what she's doing with the franchise. She's just making movies at will and trying to trying to profit from them, and that's it. But you've had a flop in Solo. It's time to recollect everything and see where you're going. And I'm not sure how this is doing box office wise, but probably not as good as the other films.
Lower than all.
Lower than all. Yeah. So it's time to smarten up and get a plan forward of where we're going with Star Wars.
All right.
Oh wait, just a quick question.
Sure.
What did everyone think of Solo?
Yeah,
I thought Solo.
I fell asleep during
I thought Solo was a good movie about halfway through to about almost 3/4. Then I started to fall asleep towards the end.
you can tell this movie was done by like different.
Well, I thought it was decidedly mediocre, so
It's
kind of
it's a good therapeutic alternative to sleeping medication.
Although the other movie,
enough, yeah.
what
How to go
was
to
the
sleep.
other movie called? The first one.
Rogue
One. I thought that was a good movie.
Rogue One was good. Rogue One was showing that you can take Star Wars in a different direction.
is made of.
Yeah, we need more of that.
So he's got the third one, of course.
So Kathleen Kennedy said that there is no law in Star Wars.
She said that?
L-O-R-E.
Yeah.
Yes, law. Like I was like, are you kidding me? There's so many books, and you can't like.
Not allowed. I told you.
Not
this.
allowed.
It's
Lucas.
not allowed. Just pay him royalty. Who cares?
Check for daddy. It's not allowed. They want to.
But I think,
give him.
but I mean, but besides that, I thought this was somewhat of an okay ending. This movie was like number 7, a big swing and a miss. But this is the ending we got, and we just got to be like, you know what? It's not the ending we want. Maybe it's the ending that you want, but.
It's not the ending I want.
Well, I mean, like
I'm happy with the ending JJ
like,
gave us because that's what he had to deal with.
That's what he had to do with it.
Yeah, this movie was just like a lot of damage control, but I mean, I'm still satisfied. This is the ending that he wants. Trust me.
Jeannie, what do you reckon?
So, I think, given the state of Star Wars in which Disney acquired, at least in terms of movies, wasn't in a good spot. I think what they clearly they wanted to please longtime fans of the original trilogy while also trying to do something new. I think personally, if they wanted to sort of appease and if they wanted to continue the story of the characters in the original trilogy, I think it should have happened many years before.
Yeah.
There were many years.
Yeah.
Lucas had those ideas for a long time. But I also understand why they had them in there, because if they had they would run the creative risk of having all new people in the sequel trilogy, and they might repeat the mistake of the prequel trilogy. So I think what they did with the franchise, it's serviceable. Things look good from here in terms of, I think, prospects.
Yeah, Mandalorian.
As long as if they have more creative freedom and they have more creative, I feel like they can be more creative now.
Yeah, definitely. Which sort of reflects your score of 7, I think, because it's sort of there and abouts, but it's not quite
there.
Yeah.
Now that they've said the Skywalker saga's ended, they can be creative.
They can go in direction.
And Kevin Feige is the best person to.
And it's clear from this room, there's people that are attached to other things in Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's a credit to people and their creativity with Star Wars as a property.
Yeah,
so the fact that there is a
Knights of the Old Republic movie. Oh, sorry.
Yes, please.
So yes.
Yes. Okay, sorry.
You go.
Now Raven. Yeah.
It's Revan.
Raven.
Raven. Yes. Raven.
I've seen fan art of like Keanu Reeves as Revan, like.
I've seen that. Yeah, that looks. That looks amazing.
But yeah, your closing thoughts, closing comments.
Like.
Is this the ending you wanted?
Oh, I already said no.
Thanks. Closing thoughts.
No,
Closing
I-
thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, about this movie, about this whole nine
franchise
movie-
now that
Yeah.
it's
They just need.
franchise not ended.
Just look at the EU.
you ended.
Don't copy it like word for word, but take inspiration from it. Like obviously, Jason and Jaina from the EU are Rey and Kylo.
Yeah.
But one of the biggest characters in the EU was Anakin Solo. You know, like he gave his life and he became one with the Force at like what 12 years old or something.
Yeah,
like
12
that.
years old,
Like,
yeah.
You know, like there were things in the EU that they needed to use, and they just. Mary Jade is one of the coolest characters, and we're never going to see her.
Never
Like
seen
it
her.
just.
Wasn't she hinted in like number 8 or something?
There's
Number 8 or
a
9?
scene in number 8 where like Luke has a vision of what his life could have been.
Oh.
Oh,
And like,
yeah.
there's like a redheaded woman there, but like that's it, like or something like that. But yeah, they need direction.
They need direct. Yeah.
Yeah, basically what's
Yeah, what's. Yeah.
Look, I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with what we got in the end.
Of
It's
course
not
you
the
are.
ending that we all wanted,
Why'd
but
you
I
put
felt
him
like
in for?
JJ Abrahams.
JJ. I'm JJ.
I feel like JJ Abrahams did the best he could with what he had within the constrictions he had.
Yeah.
Obviously, he had to band-aid, stuff from the last movie, and then not only come up with the ending for this movie, this
whole
trilogy,
cycle.
but the whole 9-movie arc as well. And that's a difficult job.
Yeah.
It is a hard thing to do. And that's why I think so many things were happening, because there were so many characters. There were the new characters. You still had the stories from the old characters there. And it's difficult to wind that up so everyone is happy.
Yeah.
So obviously not everyone is going to be happy
Yeah,
with this sort of
obviously.
ending. You know what I mean? Because the people are going to be happy with the ending. People are not going to be happy because that's not what they wanted to see, right? Ben kissing Ray.
Why are you looking at me for?
Oh, sorry. Okay. So, so there's a lot of scenes that were
Make point, look at me. Yeah.
There
Yeah,
was
no, that's
another scene
true.
in the cinema where everyone was like, "Oh, what? No!" Like, there's a few scenes like that. Like,
Yeah, there were. Yeah.
the hardcore Star Wars fans were like, "What? No, that's not right." Like,
Yeah.
when Chewie was presumably dead.
Oh, that was more like anger.
Yeah,
that was more like, oh
yeah.
no, what? This is heresy, man. Why are you killing Chewie off?
Yeah, there's quite a few scenes like that. But you know what? Overall, I give it an 8 out of 10. This whole trilogy, I'd give maybe a 6.5 to 7 out of 10.
Oh,
including the
damn. That's.
Including The Last Jedi, yeah. That's why I brought it down to 6.5.
Oh, fair enough.
Otherwise, I'd give it a 7 or 8, but 6.5 to
I
7.
forgot we're putting that in there.
Yeah, I know, right? I was like, no, it's just a Star Wars. It's a sequel duology. It's not the.
Yeah, this is the duology.
High production fan fiction.
The thing is, whatever it is, you can't ignore it. Unfortunately, you can't.
Yes, you cannot. I literally ignored it.
No, you
I rewatched all the films and I ignored it.
People ignore the Phantom
I went from
Menace
Force
and the
Awakens to Rise of Skywalker.
I wish I could ignore, the Phantom Menace, but I can't. It's there.
It's still Star Wars.
It's still Star Wars.
I go to Disney Plus and it's there.
Phantom Menace is better than The Last Jedi.
Maul.
Darth Maul.
Like he's
Oh,
like.
The
man.
fight scenes, they were more
It's working.
epic. It's working.
Damn young Anakin.
These are the deal.
And seriously, I'm going to end this with a controversial comment. I reckon Jar Jar Binks was pretty cool. All right, guys.
Jar Jar Binks was a Sith
Jar
Lord.
Jar Binks is pretty cool. All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this video. We hope to see you in the next one. This was quite a long video, but it was a good discussion, I think, about Star Wars. Hope these guys will join me in the next couple of videos. If you guys want to see anyone in particular, let me know in the comments below. Again, like the video, share, subscribe if you haven't already,
I don't know
and
who
we
you
shall
should
see
want
you in the
on
next one. Peace.
Merry Christmas.
Peace.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Love you all.